Morning garden friends, it's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. Hope you're doing well. Out at the farm today with the family. We have two projects going on. One of them is what I'm standing in, which is going to be a 2-bay compost bin, open in the front and very basic T-posts and welded wire. And that's going to be used to take all of the materials that I clear out in the next couple of weeks. We'll put them all in these bins and they'll slowly start to decompose to turn to compost. The other project is over here where you saw last time we were out here, we built the retaining wall here. Now we need to build the raised beds that are going to go on here. They will be lined with hardware cloth on the bottom to protect them from rodents trying to get in. And so this will be prime real estate protected space. And actually, over time, if I really wanted to, I could erect a small high tunnel of plastic over it. But I don't think I'm going to need to do that. I think it's going to be fine just how it is. It gets direct sun all day long. So that's what we're doing today. Most of this time, I think, will be spent on time lapse. So enjoy. Like I said, this project right here is what we're going to start with because it's fast and easy. We dug into the hillside here so that we would have a little bit flatter space so that all the materials wouldn't just roll out when I started piling them in. So now that we've got our space somewhat level, we're going to get the T-posts in, wrap the whole thing with welded wire and zip tie it, and then we should be good to go and ready to start receiving compost. All right, so one project down, one to go. This was super easy and there's no problems. In fact, the only problem I expected we would run into would be that it would be really hard to cut the excess off using our wire clippers, but Aiden did it no problem. So all I need to do now is just come through with a little bit of duct tape to make sure the sharp edges are hidden, and then we're good to go. And so it didn't need to be anything fancy. Dylan was right. He asked me, is that going to be deep enough? All the stuff in the garden is going to really fill this up, but it will very quickly start to collapse as it decomposes. And I'm not going to add any water to it right now. My goal is not to hurry make compost. Basically, I just wanted a place where I could put all of the stuff that I'm going to cut out of the farm in, and when the winter rains come in another month and a half, that water and the direct sun will help to kind of quickly turn this into compost. And there will be a mix of greens and browns. There'll be a lot of greens, but there's also a lot of dead things in the farm beds at this point. So it'll be hopefully a good mix, probably more greens and browns, but that's okay. I'm not expecting it to be stinky or anything like that. You know, it'll be some compost for the farm next year, hopefully in the spring, but we'll see. I still order in compost because we need usually 10 to 15 cubic yards, and I can't make that much on site, even close to that. So yeah, this will just be like top dressing stuff, or even I can use it to start seeds. All right, now we are gonna move on to the next project. The raised bed thing shouldn't take too long, especially with 4 of us. And we're not thinking we're gonna have to cut too much of it because we're literally using the boards that are already cut to length. So hopefully we can get this done pretty quick because it's hot again. It's like 86 degrees already and it's not even noon. All right, we're gonna get started on the second project. Well, we're done. Thank goodness, because everybody's wilting in the heat. This is the 3rd day of working out in the heat, and I'm done. It's just now noon. So you saw this, we're set. If I get more than I can handle in here, which I will, it'll break down over time, but I can always string, I have plenty more wire and stuff. I can always just string something in the front to hold it all in while it decomposes. Over here, I happen to have a big roll of this landscape fabric, which I never used to use, ever. Out at Fish Ranch, I didn't need it. I didn't have nearly as many weeds and stuff, but here's a different story. So I was like, well, I happen to have this roll and it fits this space. As usual, the camera died in the heat, so we're back on the phone. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. So anyway, I don't usually use landscape fabric, but I happen to have this roll unused and it fits the whole bed. So I put that down. I will staple it down later. I'm not worried about that right now. The bed is done. This was scrap wood we had at the house. We didn't have to make any cuts or anything. It's a little bit warped, but I don't care. It went together and it's gonna hold soil. And then this is hardware cloth stapled in everywhere. And so once the compost comes, we'll fill it with compost as well as the rest of the farm in a couple weeks. And it'll be ready to hold, I think this bed is earmarked for ranunculus. That way I'll have ranunculus in the ground where the gophers and stuff can get it, and hopefully I can protect them, but then also in this protected bed where I know I can protect them. Next step is dealing with the dahlia bed. These rodent runs are insane. Look at that. I mean, all this could have been avoided if I was smart and put the right hardware cloth down instead of chicken wire. When we were unrolling that, a giant, healthy looking rat came running out. I think he was probably hiding in the tube part of the, came running out and through here and just went right through like it was nothing. So obviously I need to use hardware cloth. So this will be a big job, but that's okay. Whatever. There's a lot of big jobs coming up. It was just like I said, we're still in this weird in between where I don't really want to take everything out of the ground yet because I don't have anything to put in. Starting those seeds this week. And it's a real bummer because the seedlings that I had in the greenhouse that were looking gorgeous for the fall garden, yesterday morning when I went out there, I watered them. They were looking amazing. And when I went back and checked on them later in the day, they were all flat and dead. It just got too hot in there. It got way too hot. So I'm a little concerned if this heat continues for the cool season annual flowers that I got to start this week, because they either won't germinate at all or they'll die once I start them. It's not as big of a deal with the vegetables because I can always start more and I can always go buy starts for the vegetables, but it's a big deal when it comes to thousands of flower seedlings. So a little anxious about that. I guess our garage is not any cooler. So worst case scenario, I guess they all come in the house, which is not going to be a favorite for my family. We'll just have to see what happens. All right, that's it for us today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Tomorrow I'm going to be back in the home garden. Hopefully it's going to be cooler tomorrow, planting all the flowers that we bought that need to go into containers. So I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.